Hello viewers, Media J2K here with another box. This is another quick eBay haul. I wasn't expecting this. The seller had this listed and I was watching it and they sent me an offer that was too good to refuse, to quote a famous line that everyone's aware of, right? Yeah, they made me an offer I couldn't refuse, so there it is. Let's open this up and we'll go through it real quick. Okay, wow. As always, I open this up from the back side of the box to protect the identities of those all involved. And here we go. I just noticed this is really fancy. It is not a mint on card figure. It is a loose, off the blister, complete new mold Airborne. And the seller, or wherever the seller got it from, seemed to rewrap it in plastic wrap around a cardboard backer and even put a tag on it. So I'm wondering if they had this hanging in a store. And now I got it. So now it's a loose product, but it's sealed. So now I got to open it up. I wasn't expecting to have to open anything up. All right. But this figure has got the good coloration. A lot of these Airborne, these versions of Airborne figures, which I guess would be version 2 technically, right? But not quite. They all discolor often, like you could see there on that right thigh. They discolor like that on their legs and arms rather quickly. This figure came out, I think, in 2007 or something like that. And, less than 20 years and they're already discoloring. And I bought this. I was interested in this Airborne figure because I like the Airborne character, first of all. But I didn't buy it if I ever saw it on card in the stores when it was brand new. I didn't buy it because I was like, it doesn't look right. However, I was listening to a very well-respected JoJoE fan say that this figure is one of the best of the new molds as far as the gear and tooling, and obviously the figure look overall. So one day I decided, all right, now that the classified's out, I better get me the new mold version just because. I did a reveal of my classified version. I got that. It's in a different video. I'll leave that video in the description for this video. But let's see what's else in the box. What else is in the box, if anything, real quick, and then nicely open this custom wrapped figure. So packing material, more packing material. No surprises, no invoices, we're good. Alright, give me a few seconds and I'll carefully open this. Okay, I carefully cut at the top behind the card so I wouldn't cut the card. The card seems to be in very good condition. Whoever bought it originally cut the blister off of the card, did not remove the blister from the card. So if you could see, the plastic portion of the blister that gets glued to the card is still in place and intact. I will leave it like that, a nice full card. And with all the available figures at the time. Let's put that up so we can take a look at it better. And of these new molds, I got the Wraith figure. I got that Flint figure in the Cobra disguise. I have the Specialist Matt Tracker figure. Yeah, I'll have to look in my box of goodies and see what else I have. I don't think I have any of those other ones. Oh, maybe I got the Mutt and Junkyard. Yes. And maybe I have the G.I. Joe Hawk, the General Hawk figure. Yeah, looking again. I might have a bat. I don't know. I don't have that Cobra Commander. I have the Ultimate Cobra Commander. That was in a different video. Yeah. All right. One of these days I'll get to my new molds, the rest of them. So Airborne is a helicopter. Let's got to get that glare out of there. Is an Airborne. I can't get it out. Let's see if we can do it this way. Airborne Assault Trooper, a Navajo native from the Navajo Reservation in Arizona. He's an E5. His real name is Franklin E. Talltree. I think that's written on his classified box there. I'll give you a few more seconds. Thinking I'll have to look up helicopter assault trooper one day. I think what they do is the helicopter lands and they run out. The helicopter arrives and they run back in. They do their mission like that. Not SEALs. SEALs do that too, but this is different. This is different. All right, and he's not a pilot. That's not one of his specialties. It says he's the airborne infantry and the helicopter gunship gunner. So again, he may fast rope out of a helicopter. He doesn't. Yeah, I don't think they jump out of helicopters, and he's not a pilot at all, or even a co-pilot. He could probably sit in the co-pilot seat and run the whatever the duty is, but obviously that he just picked up along the way. Now let's get to the figure. The figure again, mostly good color except for that thigh. All right, just a few notes before I mention that this is the second version, technically second version of Airborne. There was still in the ARAH line another figure codenamed Airborne. That figure was part of the Sky Patrol team. It is not Franklin Talltree. They are not the same person. They just somehow have the same code name. I don't know how that got by the brass up there in charge of code names. As far as I know, this figure never retired from the Joe team, so there was no reason that his code name is available for another team member. Obviously, that's talking like in real life. Obviously, just in Hasbro, they knew they had the rights to it, and instead of making this figure again, they decided to make a new figure and keep the rights to the code name. Maybe one day I'll find the story on that, but not right now. So here, as you can see, he's posed out. His trigger fingers are not very cooperative, so I couldn't get them into the trigger guard there on the rifle. The rifle's got the bayonet, just like the original Airborne. The original Airborne's rifle, I don't think it was black. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I have a few of those. I can't remember his color, but it was the M16 with the bayonet. However, the original ARAH Airborne came with Duke's backpack, and this could also be Duke's backpack. I don't know, because I don't think I have a new mold Duke. So there's that. But as you can see, and I'm sure it is removable somehow. This figure has a vest. Yeah, see, the vest is unbuttoned. So the vest can come off. You slide it up. You take the head off, and then you could take the vest off, slide it out over the one arm. And maybe the web gear can be removed too around his waist and then thighs. Maybe, but I don't see a clip for that. So, or I don't think it's attached to the jacket either. So there's that. This figure comes with regular articulation for this era of G.I. Joe figures. The helmet, the microphone on the figure's helmet is very loose. When I popped it on his head, the microphone got tucked behind his left side, tucked behind his left cheek, I guess, on his face there. Is the best way to explain it. This figure came also with a removable sidearm, which looks like this one's the right one. It just seems a little big for the holster. So maybe the real one that came with this figure was a little smaller. I'll have to look that up too. But I'm happy either way. And it came with the stand and his knee pads. Oh, look at that. The upper joint is pinless. So I wonder if that's, let me try something. So yes, the upper joint on the leg is pinless. Then below the knee, it's not pinless. That's pretty neat how they did that. And then the elbow is the same, pinless. Let's clear that up. The elbows, both elbows are pinless. So that's nice too. The shoulders, no butterflies, but there was good articulation. And let's check out the head. All right, his head turns left and right. I can't get any up and down mobility out of that head at all. No articulation that I can see of going up and down, nodding yes and no. But it can turn 365 degrees. Obviously, I could probably take it off too. And I can't get that peg to pin into the slot either. The plastic is really hard here on his vest, like surprisingly hard. So I'll have to work on that, see if maybe I'll have to pin it into place and then wrap it with a rubber band and leave it that way for a little while so it can get some shape. And at least that way it'll always be in that shape in case I want to keep it pegged in place or not. I have a Slaughter's Marauders and a regular low light in this ARAH 2, and I think I'm able to get those vests off in a very similar fashion. Again, you got to take off their heads, then just unclip one side and slide it on and off. But those vests are loose. I'm able to do that with that low light figure, but not here with Airborne. All right, so thanks for watching. I will compare this figure one day to my classified version. I'll compare mostly their uniforms because I'm thinking the classified version doesn't have as bright a blue vest and not as a lot of blue as it is. I think he's got other straps on there that diffuse the coloring to a little extent. So this one, as you can see, is mostly blue vest and then just his tan pants and sleeves. All right, thanks again for watching. Thanks to those of you that like, share, and subscribers. Thank you. YOJOE.